Hello and welcome to the 5 best full face helmet video for 2025. Whether you're looking for a touring helmet or a sports helmet, we have got you covered. So let's just dive right in. Ah, there you are. I thought you might have run off after hearing my dreadful Scottish accent, but I'm glad to see that you're still with us. As I already mentioned, in my opinion, these are the 5 best full face helmets for 2025. And the thing about full face helmets is that they always offer the best possible protection. Now, all of these helmets come with a Pinlock anti-fog lens to keep your vision clear at all times. And of course, they are all 2206 certified and thus ready for the future. But what else have they got?
First up is the LS2 Thunder Carbon Helmet. Weighing around 1300 grams in the smallest shell size and looking like one hell of a skid lid. Also, it's prepared for LS2's Cardo 4X system, so you can ride connected.
And what a lid this is, the LS2 Thunder Carbon Helmet. It weighs virtually nothing. Obviously that's a bit of a lie because it does weigh something, but it's only 1300 grams in the smallest shell size. It comes in 3 different shell size. It's made from full carbon. So the outer shell is actually a carbon shell, has the emergency quick release cheek pads as you would expect on any kind of helmet that can be used on the track. The visor is very nice to operate. It really does feel quite solid when it clicks into place. Below that it sort of moves fairly easily, but when it's into place it really stays there, and it can go a bit further of course. Fairly easy to switch out as well. One thing that I would have liked to have seen, this visor system looks a little bit like the AGV Pista helmets, and what I'd like to see is that it actually has a little ventilation notch instead of just opening straight away. But then again, this helmet does have ample ventilation, as you can see on the front here. One here to keep your caterpillars dry, 2 on the top, and of course in the area of the spoiler there is a very large outlet to allow the air to be sucked out of the helmet as such, and it also has some vents at the bottom of the helmet. So overall this helmet is pretty complete, but the price is quite friendly. I would say that this helmet is a little bit of an all-round geezer, not in the way that it's not a sporty helmet, because it is, but also because I think you'll be using this mainly on the road and occasionally going on the track. If you want to go on the track more often, or maybe even all the time, then you might want to keep an eye open for the helmets coming up later. As with virtually all sporty helmets, you will find, of course, the double D chin strap rings on the bottom and a little magnet to keep the chin strap in place here. The helmet has a fairly intermediate oval shape, but leaning a little bit more to oval, I would say. Basically, a bit of an all-rounder, definitely ready for the track, will do the job sufficiently both there and on the road.
Now let's see here. Affordable, practical, and good looking. The Nolan N80-8 may just be the epitome of an all-round sport tour helmet.
I'm starting to feel like I'm repeating myself. All-rounder, all-rounder, all-rounder. Alright, fair enough, we might have said that a few times, but it's true, and we've only seen one helmet so far, and this helmet, like I said, is kind of the epitome of an all-round sport tour helmet. It has a bit of everything. It has all the functions and features you would want to have on your full-face helmet. It has a fairly short and small, sporty design. Granted, it only comes in 2 shell sizes, and it is a polycarbonate outer shell, although it is a Lexan polycarbonate outer shell, which is very strong. Polycarbonate, repeating myself again. It's a very pleasant helmet to wear and to look at. There are a lot of great designs for the Nolan N80-8, so be sure to check those out on our website. Now, when opening the visor on this helmet, I find that the system feels very good. Maybe a bit clunky, but I kind of like that because it keeps the visor in place when you're riding at a higher than average speed. So in this case, I'd be really happy with that. Obviously, this helmet is prepared for the NCOM system, which can be installed here, and of course on the inside of the helmet. Fairly easy to do, might take you a while, but it's not difficult. It's just, you know, sitting down and doing it really, just like building a Lego set. The helmet has ample ventilation. On the front over here we can open up the chin ventilation. We have a few notches on the top and of course the outlet on the back. Now, something you won't see on track helmets, but you will see on road helmets, is a sun visor, which pops out in 1, 2, 3, 4 notches. And if you don't want it there, just press this button over here and it'll jump back inside, which I always like, because I always say the less faffing you have to do with your helmet, that's probably the better, because I mean, you have to focus on the road and not on all the buttons on your helmet. So let's keep these units as simple as possible so we can stick to riding. A few other features worth mentioning are the LPC, the liner pad control, which allows you to slightly adjust the top padding of the helmet. So if you have like a hot spot maybe here or there, you can move the lining slightly, hopefully to relieve yourself of that hot spot. And also the chin strap at the bottom has the micrometric button. The great thing about this one, I don't know if you can see that, when opening the chin strap, if you lift this part over here, you have to lift it fully. You can't just do this, you actually have to pull it like so for it to release. That's a safety feature. If you go past it with your glove and you just sort of snag it, it could open the chin strap, but in this case that is something that can definitely not happen. Great helmet, great price, definitely worth checking out.
Tried and tested. Arai have nothing to prove, but they do it anyway. The RX-7V EVO doesn't really need an introduction. Its place in the world of helmets is sealed, and it's also Snell certified.
Now this is a helmet that you will mainly see rushing around the track, but surprisingly it's also used quite a lot on the open road, and there's a good reason for that. It's very comfortable and it's very safe. I mean, like I already mentioned, Arai is a very tried and tested brand, and this helmet has been a favourite for years and years and years and years. Alright, don't labour the point. Now the most notable thing about this Arai helmet, and all Arai helmets really, is the way that it looks. These helmets might be a little bit old-fashioned to the untrained eye, but people who know the helmets know that the way that these helmets are made and the way that they are shaped is for a very good reason and philosophy, namely the R75 shape. This helmet is made to glance off, is what they call it, glance off any accident, any crash, by allowing all of the parts on the top, all of the ventilation parts which are taped, to fly off so that the helmet retains the most round possible shape, allowing you to slide down the road without any possible snagging or anything like that. Which is interesting because a lot of manufacturers now make helmets with large spoilers which are actually stuck to the helmet, formed in the design, or at least don't come off as easily as the parts on Arai's helmets. So basically, they just try and keep you as safe as you can be. A lot of people who have had an Arai helmet before often stay with this brand because of the specific fit that it has. It is fairly intermediate oval, leaning over to the round side, maybe a little bit more than the oval side. And the helmets are just very, very durable. They feel good. They're extremely strong. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but you can stand on an Arai helmet shell without it moving even a millimeter. They're very, very strong, very, very decent, and of course they do come at a higher price point than many other helmets, but they will serve you well and they will keep you safe. Now this is not necessarily the lightest of helmets. It weighs 1600 grams in the smallest shell size because of its extremely strong fiberglass outer shell with its laminated construction and everything that they put inside of it to make them that strong. And it doesn't really need to be that light because it's extremely stable. So whether you're riding on the road or on the track, this helmet will do the job. The only thing some people find awkward is the way that you open the visor, which is fair enough, but when you get used to it, you probably wouldn't want it any other way. Ventilation is ample. You have openings on the front, on the top, and of course the outlet on the back with the slightly adjustable spoiler wing over here. Now, of course, the helmet is prepared for a universal intercom system which you can install. It has the double D-rings, of course, and the emergency release tab for the cheek pads.
This next helmet is possibly the most comfortable and universal one in the lineup, the Shoei GT-Air 3. Number 3, you say? Well, they do say third one's the charm, don't they?
Yeah, it is comfy, and yes, you can alter the fit with the Shoei Personal Fitting System, which is a system that allows us to measure your head in 4 different ways, enter the data into Shoei's computer system, and then create alternate fittings for that helmet, which means we can slightly alter the fit and make it better for your head specifically. Now this helmet is definitely a sport touring helmet, but it leans much more towards the touring side. That doesn't mean you can't use it on a sporty bike or on a naked bike or anything like that. If you want, you can use it on your chopper. But I'm just saying, you won't find this helmet on the track. It does have a chin strap, as you would expect, but it is a ratchet, a stainless steel ratchet, not the double D rings, so you won't find this on the track. And it's kind of a good thing, because this helmet has a sun visor, which takes away the room from the inner shell. You want as much protection as you can get when you're on the track, and apart from that, this helmet also has a fairly extensive preparation for a communication system, namely the Shoei SRL3 mesh system made by Sena. Great system, easy to install, but if you don't want to use that, it is possible to install a universal intercom as well. Now, of course, as you would expect, ample ventilation, not as much as on the track helmets, but you do have the opening on the front here, of course the slider on the top, which has 2 notches, and the outlets are right behind that, so it kind of goes like so, which is not something we see a lot, but it does work fairly well. Now, the visor of this helmet opens centrally, so you have to push this button, knock the visor up into the ventilation notch, and you're ready to go. People who have had a GT-Air helmet before might have to get used to this, because it used to be on the left side, your clutch hand, as is also the sun visor mechanism. The outer shell is made from Shoei's AIM material, which is the Advanced Integrated Matrix. Basically, fiberglass organic fibers all put into one, and it comes in 3 shell sizes, weighing 1,550 grams in the smallest one.
And last but not least, the all-new, the beautiful Alpinestars Supertech R10 racing helmet, weighing around 1,500 grams and looking mighty fine. It's also compatible with the Tech Air system and FIM, ECE and DOT rated.
And it is a great looking helmet. I mean, have a look at it. Beautiful. I know it's made for the track, but you're definitely going to see this on the open road, because people just like to wear things like this. It might be a bit overkill on the road, and especially for the price, but on the track it's going to be a great helmet to wear. 3K high density carbon fiber outer shell, comes in 4 different shell sizes, prepared for a communication system. Of course, it has the emergency quick release cheek pads, as you would expect. You can knock the visor into its breathing notch by doing so. A little bit getting used to, I think, especially with gloves. It might be a little bit difficult to feel because it's not that big, but easy to use. Great helmet. What's not to love? Well, I've only really found one thing that I don't love, and it's the flimsiness of the vents. Not that the vents don't work. I mean, there's ample ventilation, there's big holes in the shell, so you'll definitely have enough air and keep your head cool, but it's just, I don't know. The vents feel like something off a budget helmet, so I'm hoping that in the future, because at this price point, these things really need to be replaced with something with a little bit more of a premium feel. But that's the only thing I've found that I'm not so happy with. Everything else feels good. The visor operates pleasantly, clicks into place easily. Of course, it's prepared for the tear-offs. What a great looking lid. I mean, what more can I say? Absolutely lovely. And on that note, we're going to wrap this 5 best full face helmet video up. So thank you very much for watching once again. We hope to see you again next time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss any of our future content. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button so that you give us a big smile on our little faces. And of course, we hope to see you online at fortomotor.com or in one of our shops. Either way, thanks a lot, cheers, and see you next time.